All right, welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I am your host, Alex. Today, we're looking at MoonCast, high-quality zero-shot podcast generation, a paper from March 18th, 2025 that's been trending on Papers with Code. This research aims to create natural, engaging podcasts directly from text sources, like news articles or even technical reports. What's really interesting is its zero-shot capability, meaning it can generate speech using voices it hasn't specifically trained on. MoonCast tackles two big challenges: generating long audio, using what's called a long context language model, an AI designed for extended sequences, and capturing spontaneity, making the speech sound more conversational. And for those interested in the nuts and bolts, the authors have also shared their GitHub repository for this work. The main goal there is to advance human-like speech synthesis. You'll find the core code, including things like inference scripts, which are sets of instructions that allow the AI model to actually generate the speech, an app.py file for a Gradio demo. And Gradio is a neat tool that helps create a simple web interface so you can try out the model, plus tools for script generation and downloading pre-trained models. Okay, so Figure 1 gives us a nice overview of the MoonCast system's pipeline. It starts with what they call knowledge sources. Think of these as the raw text inputs, like those web URLs or PDFs we mentioned. This information then feeds into a script generation module, which is pretty cool because its job is to create a conversational script, complete with those ums and ahs. This spontaneous script then goes to the audio modeling module. This module is where the text actually becomes speech, leading to the final spontaneous audio output. This whole process is central to how MoonCast generates those long, natural-sounding podcasts. Okay, so after the audio modeling module generates its internal speech representation, those discrete speech codes, the system needs to convert them into actual sound. Figure 2 zooms in on how this happens, showing the attention mask for a chunkwise autoregressive speech detokenizer. A speech detokenizer turns those codes into a MEL spectrogram, which is a visual map of sound frequencies. Autoregressive means it builds audio sequentially, and chunkwise means in small segments. This attention mask, with yellow squares showing allowed connections, dictates how different MEL spectrogram chunks, like clean ones M sub I, or noisy ones M prime sub I, influence each other, ensuring the final audio is coherent. Speaking of how well this all works, Table 2 lays out the performance for English podcast generation. It compares MoonCast against two other models, Cozy Voice 2 and what's called a concatenation baseline, across several subjective measures rated on a 1 to 5 scale. MoonCast leads in key areas like spontaneity, scoring 4.63, and coherence at 4.50, while Cozy Voice 2 scores highest for subjective quality and similarity. MoonCast also shows strong intelligibility. Objectively, MoonCast achieves the best character error rate, or CER. The character error rate measures the accuracy of the generated speech by counting character mistakes when it is transcribed, and MoonCast gets a low 1.91, which is excellent. Alright, so we just looked at the English results where MoonCast had an excellent character error rate. Now, Table 1 shows us a similar performance comparison, but this time for Chinese podcast generation. Once again, it's MoonCast against Cozy Voice 2 and the concatenation baseline, evaluated on those subjective listener scores and objective metrics. For Chinese, MoonCast clearly leads in all the subjective areas, scoring highest in spontaneity at 4.25, coherence at 4.13, intelligibility at 4.38, overall quality at 3.80, and speaker similarity at 3.98. On the objective character error rate, it scores 2.15, which is solid, though the concatenation baseline was slightly lower there. Okay, so we've seen MoonCast perform well in both English and Chinese. Now, Table 3 really digs into a core idea of the paper. How much does the spontaneity of the script itself affect the final podcast? This table compares audio generated from different types of scripts. We have the ground truth audio, which is real human speech, and then audio generated from a ground truth script, a written script with no spontaneous bits, and a spontaneous script where those bits were added back. The results are pretty clear. Removing spontaneous details from the script, as in the written script, really hurts the spontaneity score, dropping it to 3.21. But when the LLM reintroduces those details in the spontaneous script, the score jumps back up to 4.03, getting much closer to the ground truth script's performance. This really underscores how crucial that initial script generation step is for making the audio sound natural. Alright, so we've seen how important that script quality is for naturalness. Figure 3 gives us a peek into what goes into creating those scripts. This figure shows a set of detailed instructions and examples, and these are in Chinese, which highlights MoonCast's work with multiple languages. These guidelines seem to cover specifics for the script generation process, like how to handle numbers or foreign words, and even rules about the length and overall style of the text. It's this kind of meticulous preparation at the script stage that helps achieve that spontaneous quality we talked about. These detailed script generation guidelines are really key to MoonCast's success. It seems the main takeaway here is that creating truly spontaneous and high-quality podcast audio isn't just about the voice synthesis. It's also critically about how you prepare the script. MoonCast's approach, focusing on that initial script naturalness and its zero-shot capabilities, really pushes the boundaries for AI-generated, long-form content. Well, that's all the time we have for today's AI Research Roundup. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Alex.